Listen, pain doesn't ask permission. It where clear's throat just arrives, and when it comes from her, it cuts deeper than anything because you opened yourself up, you trusted her, you let her in, and she used it against you. Now you're standing here trying to figure out what's next. Before we go any further, subscribe to this channel because what I'm about to tell you isn't easy, but it's real and you need to hear it. Hit that button. Stay with me. Let's talk about this the right way. Here's the first truth. She hurt you, that's a fact. But here's what most men miss. The hurt isn't the problem. It's what you do with it. Most guys try to bury it, act like it didn't happen, pretend they're fine. But that's not strength, that's avoidance. Real strength is feeling it, acknowledging the wound, and then deciding what comes next. Not out of anger, not out of revenge, but out of self-respect. You see, when a woman hurts you, it reveals something. Not just about her, but about you. It shows you where you compromised, where you ignored red flags, where you gave more than you should have. And that's not about blaming yourself. It's about learning. Because the same patterns repeat until you break them. Let me tell you what doesn't work. Begging her to understand. Explaining your pain over and over, hoping she'll suddenly care. She won't. Not because she's evil, but because people show you who they are. And when someone shows you they're willing to hurt you, believe them. The first time, not the third, not the fifth, the first time. Most men stay because they think love is about endurance, suffering through the pain, proving their loyalty, but love isn't supposed to destroy you, it's supposed to build you. And if she's tearing you down, that's not love. That's attachment. And attachment will ruin you. It'll keep you stuck in cycles, going back to the same person, hoping for a different result. But hope without action is just denial. You already know what she's capable of. She showed you. So why are you still waiting for her to change? Here's the uncomfortable truth. She's not thinking about you the way you're thinking about her while you're replaying every conversation, analyzing what went wrong, wondering if you could have done something different. She's moved on. Or she's planning her next move, and that stings. I know it does, but you need to hear it because the version of her in your head, it's not real. You're in love with potential, with who she could be, not who she actually is, and that gap will kill you. It'll keep you chasing a ghost while your real life passes you by. Let's talk about what moving on actually means. It's not about hating her or getting revenge or proving you're better off. It's about choosing yourself every single day, even when it hurts, even when you want to reach out, even when you're lonely at 2 a.m, you choose yourself because no one else will do it for you. Not her, not your friends, not your family, just you. And that choice is the foundation of everything. Your peace, your future, your self-respect. Without it, you're just drifting, reacting to whatever comes your way. But when you choose yourself, you take control. You stop being a victim of circumstances and you start being the architect of your life. Now, let's address something most men struggle with, the need for closure. You want her to admit what she did, to apologize, to acknowledge your pain. But here's the reality. Closure is a myth. You're never going to get the conversation you want. She's never going to give you the answers you need because she doesn't see it the way you do. And waiting for her to validate your feelings, that's giving her power over your healing. You have to close that door yourself without her permission. Without her understanding, you decide it's over, you decide you're done, and you walk away. Not because she changed, but because you did. Let me tell you what happens when you don't do this. You stay in limbo, half in, half out, checking her social media, wondering who she's with, hoping she'll come back, and every time you do that, you're reopening the wound. You're choosing pain over progress. And brother, you deserve better than that. You deserve a life where you're not constantly triggered, where you're not waiting for someone else to decide your worth, where you're building something real for yourself. Here's what I want you to understand about female psychology. Women are emotional creatures. That's not a criticism. It's just how they're wired. They feel deeply, and they make decisions based on how they feel in the moment, not based on logic, not based on promises, based on emotion. So when she hurt you, she was acting on how she felt, not on what was right, not on what you deserved, on her emotions. And emotions change, they shift, they're unreliable. which means you can't build your life around them, not hers, and honestly, not even your own. You need something stronger, a foundation that doesn't shake. And that foundation is your principles, your values, your commitment to yourself, because feelings will tell you to go back, to forgive too easily, to accept less than you deserve. But your principles will keep you grounded. They'll remind you of who you are and what you stand for. Here's the thing about self-respect. It's not something you talk about. It's something you demonstrate through your actions, through your boundaries, through your choices. And when a woman crosses a line, your self-respect demands a response. Not anger, not drama, just a firm, clear boundary. This is unacceptable and I won't tolerate it. Most men are afraid to set that boundary because they're afraid of losing her, but you've already lost her brother the moment she chose to hurt you. What you're really afraid of is being alone. And that fear will make you accept things you shouldn't. It'll make you shrink yourself, apologize for things that aren't your fault, and stay in situations that are killing you slowly. But loneliness is temporary. Losing yourself is permanent. Let's talk about attraction for a moment, because this is where a lot of men get confused. They think being nice will make her stay, being understanding, being patient, but attraction doesn't work like that. Attraction is about polarity, masculine and feminine energy. And when you're constantly accommodating her, you lose your polarity, you become neutral, safe, predictable, and she stops seeing you as a man. She sees you as a friend, or worse, as someone she can walk over. This doesn't mean you should be cruel or emotionally distant. It means you need to stand firm in who you are. You have your mission, your purpose, your direction, and she can join you on that journey or she can leave. But you're not changing course for anyone. That's attractive. Not because it's manipulative, but because it's authentic. It's a man who knows himself and doesn't compromise his core for temporary comfort. Here's what most men don't realize. When you tolerate disrespect, you're teaching her how to treat you. You're showing her that your boundaries are flexible, that your words don't mean anything, and she'll keep pushing, not because she's malicious, but because she's testing. Women test men. It's how they figure out if you're solid, if you can handle pressure, if you're really who you say you are. And every time you fail that test, you lose a little bit of her respect until eventually there's nothing left. So when she hurts you and you take her back without consequences, you've failed the test. You've shown her that your boundaries are meaningless and she'll hurt you again because you've proven you'll accept it. Now, I'm not saying you should punish her or play games. I'm saying you should honor yourself and walk away from situations that don't serve you, even if it's painful. Especially if it's painful, because that pain is temporary, but the regret of staying too long, that lasts forever. Let's talk about the aftermath. The days and weeks after you decide to walk away, it's going to be hard. You're going to doubt yourself, wonder if you made the right choice. You'll remember the good times and forget why you left. That's normal. Your brain is wired to seek comfort, and going back feels easier than moving forward. But easy isn't always right, and comfort isn't always healthy. You need to sit with the discomfort, feel the loneliness, face the emptiness, because on the other side of that pain is growth. Real, lasting growth. The kind that changes who you are and prepares you for something better. Here's what you should be doing instead of thinking about her. Building yourself physically, mentally, financially, spiritually. Become the man you've always wanted to be. Not to get her back, not to make her regret leaving, but because you owe it to yourself. You've been distracted for too long, putting your energy into someone who didn't value it. Now, it's time to redirect that energy into your purpose, your mission, your future. Hit the gym, not just for your body, but for your mind. Physical discipline builds mental strength, and you need that strength right now. Read books, not self-help fluff, but real knowledge. Philosophy, psychology, history. Understand human nature. Understand yourself, build your career, pour yourself into your work. Create something valuable, something that lasts, because women come and go, but your legacy that's yours forever. And here's the beautiful irony. When you stop chasing her and start building yourself, You become more attractive, not just to her, but to everyone, because you're no longer desperate. You're no longer needy. You're a man on a mission, and that's magnetic. But by the time you reach that point, you won't want her back because you'll see her clearly, without the fog of emotion, and you'll realize she wasn't the prize, you were. Let me tell you about the women who come after this. They're going to be different. Because you're different. You're not going to tolerate the same things. You're not going to ignore red flags. You're not going to compromise your peace. And that alone will filter out the wrong ones. The ones who are looking for someone to manipulate, someone to control, someone weak. You're not that anymore. You've been through the fire and you came out stronger, more focused, more grounded. And the right woman will see that. She'll respect it. She'll value it because she's looking for a man, not a project. But even if she doesn't come, you'll be fine because you've learned the most important lesson. You don't need anyone to complete you. You're already whole, already enough, already worthy. And that's not arrogance. That's truth. Here's what I need you to remember. Pain is temporary, but the lessons are permanent. She taught you something. Maybe it was what you don't want. Maybe it was where you need to grow. Maybe it was how to value yourself. Whatever snorts it was, don't waste it. Don't let that pain be for nothing. Use it. Let it fuel you. Let it sharpen you. Let it turn you into the man you're meant to be. Because you're not defined by what happened to you. You're defined by how you respond. And right now you have a choice. Stay stuck in the past, replaying what went wrong, hoping for a different outcome, or move forward into the unknown, into your potential, into your power. I know which one I'm choosing. And I think you do too. So let her go, not with hatred, not with bitterness, but with gratitude for showing you what you're capable of surviving, for teaching you what you deserve, for pushing you toward your purpose, and then walk away, head up, shoulders back, eyes forward, because your future is waiting and it's better than anything you left behind. You're not running from her, you're running toward yourself. And that's the most important journey you'll ever take. So take the first step today, right now. Choose yourself, honor yourself, build yourself, and watch what happens. You'll heal, you'll grow, you'll become someone you're proud of. And one day you'll look back at this moment and you'll be grateful, not for the pain, but for the strength it gave you, the clarity it brought, the man it made you. That's the real gift. Not her, but who you become without her. Now go become that man. You've got this. And if this message hit you the way I think it did, subscribe to this channel because we're just getting started and you're going to need this kind of truth as you build the life you deserve. I'll see you in the next one. Stay strong.